Kira. How are you tonight? Or today? It's early. How are you today? Been a while. Hi, Al. Thank you so much for coming in. All you have to do is submit your donation either through PayPal or Cash App, and I will be with you shortly. I'm right now working with High Priestess for her reading, and I will be with you next, okay? Thank you. All right, I pulled quite a few cards, so this is going to be a long reading. So we have in the bottom of the deck the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So to me, the Five of Pentacles in reverse for the rest of the year talks to me about, I think the whole theme or the focus for the rest of the year, the rest of 2025 for you has to do with working through your debts, working through paying those credit cards, paying that student loan, paying. Um, this is just basically getting yourself off of this impoverished state in this state of debt. If you have debt, right? Paying your credit cards, right? Um, if you owe people money, maybe that's going to be what your focus is, or that's going to be something constantly in your mind in the month of uh I'm sorry, for the rest of the year 2025, right? And it seems like before this time, before October 17th, because today is the 17th, right? Before the 17th, October 17th, it seems like there was a lot of security before, financial security, and maybe there was also this security because you lived with family, so not everything was dependent on you. Maybe there was this thing where there was that sense of security because, you know, we're living with other people who are also pitching in or paying their portion of the rent, and but it seems like that's going to change because I wouldn't just appear in the position of the past and passing. So if this is in the past and passing, then obviously that's going to change. Maybe that's talking about maybe, paying off your debts so that you can live independently, right? That would be the next step for you, right? But it seems like now in the present with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, although our focus is to pay our dues, get out of this impoverished state, the state of debt, right? Financial debt. With the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, right now, you don't feel like you're seeing any progress in your life. You feel like you're not, there's just no progress. Like things have just completely plateaued. And as your challenge, you do have right here the Page of Swords. So your challenge here is, because you are an air sign, High Priestess, you are an Aquarius. With the Page of Swords, I kind of took this as maybe sometimes when we are not feeling at our best, or sometimes when we are not in a good mental state, spiritual state, because of things that are going on in our third dimensional life, in our waking life, right? With this Page of Swords in reverse, it's basically saying that sometimes when we don't have that balance, sometimes our throat chakra could be out of balance. Either we say too much, or we become argumentative, or we could have those moments where, where it was like TMI, like maybe I shared too much information, or like we're just so out of balance where we do that. Or it could be the opposite, where we just don't talk. We don't express ourselves. We shut down. Because we are in a place where what's known to be true with the Ten of Wands in reverse, you're now in a place where it's like if things aren't working, you're not going to press a square into a triangle, right? And it seems like you've already been keeping your distance from your social circle, from social settings. But I do see lessons coming in for you. lessons coming in for you, and also confrontations. Maybe that's why we're seeing this card, Page of Swords in reverse. I'm seeing confrontations, and that's probably why we have that Page of Swords in reverse as your challenge. Maybe we tend to bite our words, or maybe we tend to say too much that triggers another person, or we use the wrong choices of words that upsets the person right in front of us. Well, we could have chosen a different set of vocabulary. We would have still delivered the same message, but there would be no drama, right? Um, in the position of the self, it seems like you don't know what to do. It just Me and my family got in a big fight. My mom put her hands on me, so I defended myself, and then she called the police on me. Okay, okay. Well, I do see that. I do see that, and you don't know what to do. I see. I see. I see. So maybe the cards are talking to me about that, you know, about how we went from stability with family, or living in a home with family, to, currently to then being in a position where things weren't going anywhere. Then I see conflict, and either we said something that triggered somebody, or our challenge here was to bite our tongue, you know? Then the job I was supposed to start on the 20th got canceled, but I have two more interviews coming up. They onboarded me fully, said I was cleared to start, and then sent a mass email out to everyone, the 75 people they hired, to tell them complicated elsewhere. Yep, right. Gotta love America, right? Happens. Mm-mm. People were, I think for a long time, people were viewing you as someone who was stuck and didn't know what to do. But the thing is that it wasn't that. You just had multiple options. You had multiple ideas. You just didn't know what route to take. But now that you moved out with the Ten of Cups, you will be happy. Ten of Cups tells me that there will be happiness. For some reason, the feeling that I got with this card is that you're going to find family somewhere else. Family doesn't have to be blood related. That's the feeling that I got with this card, is that you're going to find your kin in other people. You're going to find happiness and a support system in other groups, in other people, that you wish you could have had in your family. So this could be like, Christmas and Thanksgiving, you're probably not going to see your family. You're probably going to go visit a friend, or do like a Friendsgiving thing, you know? But I feel like that's basically the energy for the rest of the year: October, November, December, the next 2.5 months ish, you know? So I have 3 weeks of unemployment, and I'm signed up for Uber if it comes to that. But I also took out one loan from school, so within the next month, I'm expecting that. So yes, yes. I do see, again, a focus also on debts. They have it on too hard for me, and they have treated me effed up. The stuff they have done is unforgivable, to be honest. Well, I was gonna say, have they bothered to reach out, but you have them blocked. No, I think it will be fine. With the Ten of Cups, I think you're just gonna be focusing on, again, if you have student loans, paying your student loans, if you have credit cards, paying your credit cards, kind of staying up to date to, like, your things that you owe. I think that's going to be your focus for the rest of the year. And also, like I said, finding your kin, finding family with other people, you know. Hi, Elle. I'm still working with my priestess. I will let you know when you are up next. Well, you are next after High Priestess, but I will let you know when you are next, okay? Thank you so much for your patience. I think they feel like I was staying there, they were doing me a favor, but it was also benefiting them as equally. Exactly. Exactly. My mom sent me emails, but I didn't bother opening them. She tried calling me from a different number, but that's because she needs something, of course. Mhm. Um, I wouldn't doubt it. Alrighty. So, High Priestess, you did pay for 2 questions. We just answered one, a general for the rest of the year. What else would you like to know? And of course, if you have more questions after this, you're more than welcome to send more donations for those questions. They know they was wrong. Of course they do. Of course they do. All right. Do you know Terry's zodiac sign or her birthday? No, I don't need the last name. Okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead and see if you should go ahead. Yeah, let's go ahead and see if Terry will help you with getting back into modeling and getting paid gigs. All right. So, in the bottom of the deck, as the overall theme, you do have strength. And then for your reading, we have Seven of Swords in reverse, Two of Swords, Knight of Wands in reverse, Judgment, King of Wands, and Page of Wands. I think she will. I think she will help you. I do see fairness and justice with all of this. But at the same time, I think I think also be compassionate. Like I think if you expect it to be better than what it is, I just see that she's gonna have a hard time with it though. I don't know if it's because again, problems with the economy or whatever, but I just see that she's gonna have difficulty in getting you those gigs. Not because of lethargy or laziness or anything like that, but because I feel like it's good, I see just her being challenged with helping you with that. But I do think she is going to go out of her way, and she will. But I see her being, finding the task to be difficult. Any other questions, High Priestess? Well, there you go. It could be that, medical issues, maybe family issues will come up, and, life is life, and it's a combination of things. Alrighty, thank you so much for your next donation. So you wanted to know, yes, one more. Will I get a response if I was to apply to modeling agencies in New York City? Um, let's see. Will you get a response? Well, let's just say if we'll think. Hey, sorry. And like kicked me out. Okay, so you said the screen froze. Of course it did. All right, so when I originally moved to New York City, that's why I moved there, but then everything got shut down. Oh, yeah, COVID, right? Um, so let's go ahead and see. Do we see a response for you to model in New York City anytime between now and the end of 2025? Let's see. If you were to apply to any modeling agencies in New York City, will you get a reply? You need to trust yourself a little bit more. With the Empress in reverse, this usually, when it comes out for a woman or a female, this talks to me about someone who doesn't feel very confident about themselves. All you got to do is embrace your sacred feminine, and your confidence and your self-esteem will be boosted back up. All right, so we have Eight of Cups, the Star, Nine of Wands in reverse, Strength, Seven of Wands in reverse, and the Four of Swords. Well, the cards are telling me right here, will you get a response? Well, yeah, I do think so. As a matter of fact, I think there is reason for you to look forward to the future about this. Do I see you getting any jobs with these modeling agencies in New York City in 2025, 2026 time? Ooh, Nine of Cups. Yes. Yes. So I see work and I see you getting a response in New York City during that time frame, okay? Any other questions, High Priestess? When I was an aspiring model, 5'9", 120 pounds, I've gained a lot of weight now that I'm 30, but the modeling agency has changed so much since then, right? Right? Thankfully. Thanks, girl. You're welcome, High Priestess. Don't forget to like the live stream, and I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you. Alrighty, Elle, are you here? Elle, let me know in the comments if you're here or in the live chat. Let me know if you're here. All right, Elle. So, can you let me know what is your zodiac sign? All right, Elle, you are a Pisces. And what is your question for me today? I literally feel so sad. Losing all my friends or things are not the same. I was wondering if I should reach out to Maribel, my friend. I want to know why things are so out of alignment for me. Okay, well, those are two different questions. We can do a chakra reading for this one, and then we can ask a yes or no question for should you go ahead and reach out to your friend Maribel. So, um, you let me know what you want to do, or if you want me to answer both, you are more than welcome to submit another donation for the other question. Otherwise, let me know which question you want me to answer. Okay, you don't want the other question? Perfect. All right, Maria. So for this question, this is going to be a long one. I'm going to have to pull up my chakra report here. So give me a second. I have to go to my Google Docs. Move my cards over here. Let me go to Google Docs here. All right, we got it. All righty, we got this. So let's do this. We need a little smaller. All righty. So here is the 7 chakras. We're going to do a chakra reading for that. And let's see where we have this out of alignment. Seeing the cards, there's a lot of out of alignment and a lot of chakras. So, which is usually normal. What happens is that when one chakra goes out of balance, it's like a chain reaction for the rest of them. It causes the one next to it to go out of balance, and then the next one that's next after, like, let's just say your root chakra is out of balance. It's going to affect, the sacral and the solar plexus and the heart. And, it's like a chain reaction, so let's go ahead and read this for you. The word chakra is a Sanskrit term and it means wheel or disc. It is derived from the word chakra. Chakras are spinning wheels of energy and light. They are circular vortexes of energy that are placed in 7 points on the spinal column. This is where the physical and the consciousness meets. Chakras have the loving responsibility of taking in, incorporating, and emanating energy to help us functioning at optimal levels. Chakras influence your overall well-being by distributing the flow of prana or energy throughout your body. Each chakra represents a spiritual life lesson or challenge to help us gain a more in-depth understanding of our personal and spiritual power. This in turn helps us learn how to overcome obstacles, let go of emotional blockages, and walk the path towards spiritual consciousness. Understanding the role and purpose of each chakra is a crucial first step in balancing your chakras and establishing the harmonious flow of energy. If you are working on your spirituality or finding your connection to the great universe, it is important to open and balance your chakras. Right? So let's go ahead and start with the first chakra, which is the chakra that's located in your genitals. All right. And it's called the root chakra or the Muladhara. The color is red, and it also usually means support or root. It is the foundation of the chakra system. It is associated with the feeling of safety and grounding. It lays the foundation for expansion in your life. It is associated with security, survival, basic needs, food, sleep, shelter, self-preservation, etc. Physicality, physical identity, aspects of self-support, and foundation for living in our lives. It governs a person's relationship with both the basic physical necessities of life and the fundamental and the fundamental psychological factors required for mental health. It also governs a person's connection to the wider world. All right, so key characteristics for this. Grounding, it anchors our energy into the world and forms our connections with Mother Earth. It is also about security and stability. It is responsible for our sense of security and stability in our world. Foundation, it is responsible for the foundation you need to build upon uh, during personal growth. You cannot grow unless you feel safe and secure. Physicality, it is highly responsive to your physical health. Survival, it initiates your fight or flight mode and will to live. Your instincts, it embodies your primal and ancestral instincts. Okay, so health issues, we can ignore that for now, unless you're having health issues. You know what? Just in case, if you have health issues with this one, right? So the card that you got for this root chakra before we continue is actually the Nine of Swords in reverse, right? So the Nine of Swords in reverse usually talks to me about anxiety, right? And depression, jumping to conclusion about things. And when it's in reverse, it's almost taken to like the 10th power, where we're adding more to the story, where, for all we know, it might not even be happening. A lot of the things we're not that we are freaking out about, that we're being paranoid about, or things that are making us anxious. Um, the paranoia, us jumping into conclusions, it's causing us to lose our sense of ground when it comes to the root chakra, right? It could be causing us urinary problems, bowel disorders, a range of different muscular complaints in the hips and the legs, depression. Interesting. Interesting that we got this card: depression, anxiety, paranoia, prostate problems, and eating disorder. So if you're either eating less than usual or more than usual, or just not eating healthy, or there's just this abnormalness to your eating lifestyle all of a sudden, then that can also be an indicator about your root chakra. So yes, I am seeing that for you. Why are you so out of alignment? Well, because it seems like your chakra, at least so far that we're seeing with the root chakra, we're seeing that out of alignment. And when we're out of alignment in that chakra, it causes all these things, right? So when we have an overactive root chakra, this is what you do. You express your disconnection from the world through an attempt to overcompensate by dominating their surroundings. Okay, wanting to take control, aggressive feelings and behavior, seek to find the security and crave by proving themselves to be superior to others, materialism, impulsiveness, harmful sexual promiscuity, greed, paranoia, issues with control over food intake and diet, right? And then this is for an underactive or a blocked root chakra. So there can be a problem when it's too open, and there's a problem when it's blocked or when it's underactive, right? It causes problems in the ways people interact with their surroundings. It's difficult to feel any sense of connection between the individual and the world. We feel disconnected from their own bodies. It becomes difficult to summon the energy necessary to interact with the world and find the motivation to change it. There will be behaviors ruled mainly by fear. How to balance the root chakra? You go ahead and paint your toenails red. You can wear red clothing or do some gardening, some hiking, eat red healthy foods, or you could do your mudras, the Mulatana mudra or the P3 mudra. Mudra is what they are, is just like hand symbols like you could just do in the air while you're in meditation or while you're doing some yoga, before or after, usually after. And these symbols are known to help you and make you feel better. If you want to go ahead and Google these mudras, you can probably do those at home. All right. Yes, that's what I was saying. When the Nine of Swords is in reverse, it's the same meaning, but it's to the 10th degree, right? That's what I was saying earlier. Okay, so some gemstones, or if you want to buy some crystals to help you with the root chakra, you get a garnet, a bloodstone, black tourmaline, yellow topaz, jasper, azurite, obsidian, smoky quartz, carnelian, or some citrine. If you like your aromatherapy, to help you balance that root chakra, you can get some pine, some grapefruit, frankincense, and myrrh, and vetiver. Now, if you have a balanced root chakra, or just so you know for the future, what would a balanced root chakra look like? You start to trust your own intuition. You feel calm, embodied, and supported. There's all of a sudden prosperity, health, and meaningful relationships in your life. So, yes, sometimes when we have a hard time with our relationships, or we lose them, it's a sign, or it's a problem in the root chakra. But once you start working on them, then these meaningful relationships start manifesting in your life. We are more receptive to information from the higher chakras and the signals our bodies send us. We can differentiate between the voice of the ego and the voice of our intuition. We easily decipher between high vibrational and low vibrational energy. We can manifest security and stability. We're more organized and efficient. We don't lose things or feel chaotic. In our career and home life, we're connected with our logic and common sense. We aren't overly concerned with paying the bills or losing our job. We trust enough to surrender our worries. It becomes easy for us to take action rather than be caught up in plans and analysis. We consciously choose to have faith in the unknown. Oops, what did I do? What did I do? There you go. We consciously choose to have faith in the unknown. There you go. We feel more conviction and less fear. We can deeply surrender to a power greater than us. We feel safe and have a sense of belonging. We appreciate the gift of being alive. We accept our highest human potential. We're not overly fixated on achieving out of body experiences or knowing what's on the other side. We're in tune with nature. We take cues from the seasons and shift our diet, exercise regimen, and lifestyle accordingly. We are aware of the sensations of which our bones, muscles, and organs are speaking to us. We're not numb or desensitized from reality. We are aware of what is our own energy and what isn't. We remain centered and balanced in situations where others might feel anxious and overwhelmed. This is important for empaths, which I'm sure you are one. We can easily give our full attention to one task at a time. We are present with people in conversations without frequently losing our train of thought. We're easily able to release the past and future and rest our focus on the present moment. We consciously choose to release fear, guilt, and shame in order to experience today's reality as it is. It encompasses the release of expectations and daydreaming, which distracts us during meditation and everyday life, right? So now we're going to go to the next chakra, which you got the devil in reverse. Now, the devil in reverse usually talks to me about how, let's see if we can make this a little bit bigger for now. So, the devil usually talks to me about when we lose our infatuation or we lose our obsession over someone or something. So let's go ahead and see what the sacral chakra has to be about, right? So the Sanskrit is the Sabdhisthana. Hope I said that right. And then it means one's own place or your own place. It refers to the true and untarnished aspects of the real you. Interesting. The sacral chakra symbolizes our creative potential, our ability to harbor fulfilling relationships, as well as our sexual energy, all coming to all coming together to create an empowered and confident individual. It teaches us that every relationship we create, from the casual to the most intimate, has a purpose, no matter how painful, to help us become more consciously aware of our karma and ourselves. It is having that personal power of choice to make the move. It is a sensation of being physically alive and creating the life you desire. It is about power to realize and utilize your talent to express the life you want to lead. It is centered on personal identity and personal play in the external world and how it responds to the seductive forces of the physical world. It is the foundation of a healthy ego that allows us to interact with the world without selling ourselves short or pretending to be someone we are not. The foundation of the sacral chakra is directed by the principle of pleasure. It manages how we begin to relate to others outside of family tribe, the creative exploration of life and relationships, sexuality, and discovering the power of choice. The sacral chakra resonates with our need for relationships and our need to control or create the dynamics of our physical world. It is the center of pleasure, enjoyment, feelings, sensations, and creativity. It is associated with the emotional body, sensuality, and creativity. It is located at the level of the lumbar vertebrae, and it is associated with the lymphatic system. It is related to emotional issues and associated with the realm of emotions. It is particularly active when our sexuality and the expression of our sensual and sexual desires. It is instrumental in developing flexibility in our lives. The sacral chakra is associated with the following psychological and behavioral functions: emotions, feelings, relationships and relating, expression of sexuality, sensual pleasure, feeling the outer and inner worlds, creativity, fantasies. And it's so funny that we're talking about all of these things because what did we just say about the devil in reverse? The devil in reverse is about you losing obsession or maybe feelings or maybe this sexual attraction over to someone, or maybe we're just not feeling a high libido right now, or we could be losing our obsession over someone, or maybe that just happened recently with you and somebody. Maybe someone lost attraction over you, and for some reason that made you not feel so very confident, right? Made you question yourself a little bit, right? So that makes a lot of sense. Let's go ahead and finish reading this. So, key characteristics: emotions. Connect with your feelings and emotions with the energy of the sacral chakra. Pleasure. Motivated by pleasure and joy. The sacral chakra is responsible for your enjoyment of life through your senses. This creates the foundation of your emotional well being. Sensuality. Goodness. There you go. The sacral chakra helps you understand and develop your intimate connection with others. Creativity: the sacral chakra awakens your creative expression, allowing you to explore new ideas and stimulate your imagination. Passion: the energy of your sacral chakra allows you to discover and explore what you are truly passionate about. This passion lets you truly enjoy life. Health issues associated with an imbalanced sacral chakra: we have chronic lower back pain, arthritis, genital or sexual problems, or hip issues. Signs of an overactive chakra, sacral chakra. We feel overwhelmed with energy, mood swings. We might be experiencing issues of excess, conflict from thriving on drama. We have unhealthy relationships and mood swings, emotional overreactions, people being dramatic, aggressive, people feeling anxious. There is this excessive emotional attachment or codependency, and also an addictive personality. We may feel emotions more deeply as well. Signs of an underactive, blocked sacral chakra. We encounter emotional and intimacy issues in relationships, detachment, fear of pleasure, insecurity, feeling fatigued, lack of desire, misuse of sexual energy. We don't have a healthy sense of personal ethics. We have a low self esteem. We're not feeling creative artistically. Misuse of sexual energy and others relating to personal ethics, self esteem, and creativity. Tips on how to balance the sacral chakra. So, this is what you can do to help with the sacral chakra. So, do more of what makes you happy. Aromatherapy. You can meditate and visualize the color orange. Let go of unhealthy emotions, people, and memories that are crucial. And this is crucial as you are letting go of your negative emotional baggage and making space and energy for better opportunities in life. Sun salutations every morning after waking up. Learning to improve and master your sexuality. Um, Learning to improve and master our sexuality can awaken, activate, and strengthen these chakras. Acupressure, dance, having sex during the sunrise. Get creative, keeping a journal and write about your negative emotions. Remember that. Won't do that. Remember that nobody is perfect. You can get a massage, wear orange clothing, contact sports. You can do some contact sports. Maybe do some dancer stuff, some trikonasana or a dancer pose. Imagine a bright, healing orange glow filling up your entire lower abdomen when meditating. And then you could be doing the Sakti Mudra if you want to Google that one so that you can see or so that you can see it on Google and you can do it at home. All right. Some gemstones that you can use to help you balance the sacral chakra. You can use amber, calcite, orange, carnelian, hematite, and fire opal. Aromatherapy for the sacral chakra. We have sandalwood, clary sage, cardamom, cinnamon bark, and jasmine. Now, signs of a healthy or a grounded or balanced sacral chakra, we have the ability to take risks and have the resilience to recover when things go wrong. Drawing, yoga poses. The yoga poses that you can do: open angle pose, frog, pigeon pose, and goddess pose. You can also explore new and old hobbies, getting outside and relaxing near or in open water. It radiates warmth and it is able to speak openly about emotions. We can survive financially and physically on his or her own. It brings a powerful and natural feeling of intimacy to the individual. The ideas of passion and intimacy are seen as pleasurable and natural. There's a feeling of happiness to your body and spirit. Life is joyous and bright. We are able to feel the world around us and in us. A healthy sacral chakra supports personal expansion and the formation of identity through relating to others and to the world. We have a balanced sacral chakra once we learn how to form harmonious friendships, relationships, and healthy physical interests later in life. People with an open sacral chakra generally are passionate, present in their body, sensual, creative, connected to their feelings, and feeling emotionally stable, joyful most of the time. Okay, so now we have right here the solar plexus, which is the money Buddha, and it translates to shining gems, city of jewels, or the seat of gems. Now, before we continue reading for that, so for the sacral chakra, for the solar plexus chakra, you got the 10 of cups in reverse. Now, the 10 of cups in reverse, let me go ahead and make this up a little bigger here. So, the 10 of cups in reverse. Now, we talked about it a little bit earlier in the live stream, but the 10 of cups, when it's upright, it talks about, family, kin, a happily ever after. But when it's in reverse, we're trying really hard to make others believe that things are okay. Things are good at home. Things are good, with your relationship. Things are good at the job. School is great. Grades are great. The kids are great, whatever. But really, you're more focused on trying to convince people of it than really working through things, okay? Or this could be about you personally. Maybe people are, when it comes to like people asking you about you, your progresses, and how you're doing. You lie or you exaggerate, or we might have the tendency to lie or exaggerate, or tell people that we're okay when we're not, or telling people that things are in order when they're not, right? So let's go ahead and see what the solar plexus means for you. So it's located in the diaphragm. It forms the deepest connections with willpower, self-discipline, and self-esteem. This chakra is the core of your personality and identity. It enables you to discover who you truly are and let your authenticity flourish. The solar plexus chakra helps grow your confidence and vitality. It embodies your unlimited potential to transform thought or inertia into action. The center of the energy associated with your ego, the accounting mind that categorizes everything, assesses the pluses and minuses in life. It is about self-belief, self-worth, expression of will and personal power, self-mastery, taking responsibility for one's life, taking control, mental and intellectual abilities, forming personal opinions and beliefs, making decisions, setting the direction, clarity of judgments, personal identity and personality, self-assurance and confidence, self-discipline, ability to establish ideas and plans into reality, wisdom, and it provides actual momentum to move and realize personal desires and intentions in the world. Now, the key characteristics about this one is identity, personal power, willpower, confidence, and intention in action, right? As the core of your personality and identity, the solar plexus allows you to bloom into your authentic self and discover who you truly are. So, again, lying to people, pretending that things are fine, right? Personal power. The solar plexus chakra is a source of your personal power. It empowers you of taking control of your thoughts, emotions, or actions. Maybe taking action and working on things so that they are in a satisfactory thing, in a satisfactory state, so that you don't have to lie, right? Or at least lie to yourself. Willpower. Working with your personal power, your solar plexus chakra gives you the willpower and self-discipline to get things done. Confidence. The solar plexus chakra is responsible for your self-esteem and how you view yourself. It also gives you the confidence to make decisions and feel self-assured. Intention and action. Your solar plexus chakra gives you the power to transform your thoughts into action. Let's go ahead and fix that thoughts into action. All right, so health issues associated with an imbalance or, yeah, with an imbalanced solar plexus chakra, we might be feeling some gas in our stomach, nausea, ulcers, diabetes. Maybe we have celiac disease or liver disease. So we might have those medical issues if we're having issues with the solar plexus chakra. Signs of an overactive solar plexus chakra, desire for control, overly critical, excessive stubbornness, anger, and aggression. Judgmental, we might be judgmental, and it can overstimulate your system. Signs of an underactive or blocked solar plexus: lack of confidence, lack of control, feeling powerless. Feelings of self-doubt, low self-esteem, indecisiveness, helplessness, lack of purpose. We tend to see a series of disappointments and frustrations. Victim mentality, we tend to walk with our head down. So if you notice that when you walk on the sidewalk or if you're shopping or something and you're always walking and looking on the floor, that can also be a sign of of a low vibrational solar plexus chakra. Victim mentality, we might be feeling like the victim a lot of the time. We have a lack of purpose. We tend to see a series of disappointments and frustrations in our lives. We tend to walk with our head down. We tend to put up with poor treatment. We have low expectations and aspirations. We can be shy, manipulative, selfish, pessimistic, vulnerable, and we settle for a dull and frustrating life. Now, tips. What can you do to balance the solar plexus? Well, you can dress sharp, dressing sharp, formal, dressing good, looking good. Yoga poses you can do is cow, seated spinal twist, camel pose, full pose, brief or firefly pose, and also the Bahadas twist. All right. So you can also do sun salutations, the boat pose as well. You can also start walking faster, standing taller, speaking up for yourself. You can exercise, eat healthy yellow foods more often, looking at people in the eye more often as well. That's why I'm having a hard time with this. There you go. Smiling more often, meditation for self-control, overcoming fear, and to advance in life. Try new things, again, like we've talked about. You spend more time in the sun, drink herbal teas, aromatherapy, and dance. Now, the gemstones for balancing the sacral chakra, you have yellow topaz, tiger eye, yellow tourmaline, and citrine. Now, the aromatherapy that you can use for the solar plexus is cedarwood, grapefruit, sweet marjoram, hope I'm saying that right, black pepper, and ginger root. Okay, so you can buy any of these crystals, maybe get it in a pendant or a bracelet. And then as far as aromatherapy, you can buy some incense and any of those flavors and any of those scents or fragrances, whatever vocabulary or terminology you prefer. And this should help you. Okay, so signs of a healthy, balanced, or grounded solar plexus. We muster the courage to do things that scare us. When balanced, this chakra allows this chakra allows your authentic self to shine brightly. It gives you the ability to overcome fear, master your thoughts, and make conscious choices. We exert our willpower and self-control. We tend to have a tall posture. Overcome shyness. Make your voice heard. We will freely express ourselves. We become more bold, we succeed and achieve our goals. We regain our personal power. We feel happy, peaceful, satisfied. We recognize positive attributes. We see ourselves more assertive and diplomatic. We notice others respect us more. We are not crushed by failures or mistakes. We follow our true path and create the life that we want. It allows us to seize our personal power, develop our authentic self, and it takes responsibility for our lives. We are confident, kind. We do not boast over our accomplishments. Alrighty, so let's go for the heart chakra. We are there at the heart chakra. So we have right here for the heart chakra before we continue reading for that. I hope you're taking notes. I mean, you can go ahead and go back to watch this later, right? But yeah, I hope you're taking notes because I think this is going to help you a lot. And so right here we do have for your heart chakra the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands, aces are always about new beginnings. And wands have to do with manifestation, anything that has to do with the element of fire, maybe the zodiac signs, the fire zodiac signs, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. But if not, this is basically talking about how a new beginning, maybe a new beginning in a career, in a new job, or for some reason, if we are in love or we just met somebody new, this could be about just going with the flow and but no promises kind of deal. Either you might be dating someone who you might be interested in, or seeing someone that you're frequenting with, and either they are kind of doing this thing where they're like, we'll see where it goes, but no promises, or you might be feeling that way. You're just like, we'll see where this goes, but no promises, right? um, if it's about love. But this usually talks about a new beginning, a new exciting beginning, usually in career, but when it's out in love or anything else that has nothing to do with career, it's kind of one of those things where it's like there is a new beginning starting here, but it seems like someone here, whether that's the parent, the person that is asking the question, or the person the person in question, um, could be checking something out, test driving something, but they haven't made up their mind. Or they're kind of just test driving and still test driving, right? So let's go ahead and read for you. We got right here Sanskrit name Anahat, which means unstuck. The color is green for the heart chakra. Interestingly, the challenge of the heart chakra is very similar to the challenges of the solar plexus. It communicates with us on a slightly more sophisticated level, and it is tuned in at the frequency that encourages us to expand our love beyond ourself. The heart chakra corresponds to the heart, lungs, thymus, gland, and cardiac plexus. It enables you to grieve. It helps you attain tranquility and inner peace in the midst of conflict. It is responsible for forgiveness and acceptance. Everything that has to do with transformation and change have to do with the heart chakra. Opening the heart is the start of... Goodness gracious, what did I do? Keep doing it. There you go. Opening the heart is the start of your healing process. This is where the physical and the spiritual come together. Yeah, this is the beginning. This is the first spiritual chakra, and then the chakras. These are the higher chakras from the heart and above, the higher chakra. The lower chakras are still very much important, but they're not spiritual. They're more about, the world here now. It's about sex, and they're about, stability, shelter, having food and being responsible, right? and knowing our purpose in life, grounding ourselves. And then from the heart chakra and above, this is where it gets a little spiritual, right? This is where the physical and the spiritual come together. It bridges earthly and spiritual aspirations. It is the center of awareness, integration of insights. It is about the capacity to love, integration, bridge between earthly and spiritual aspirations, transcending personal identity and limitations of the ego, experience of unconditional love and connection with all, heart-centered discernment, appreciation of beauty in all things, and experiencing deep and meaningful relationships. Connection. So these are the key characteristics, right? The key characteristics for the heart chakra. I was about to say the love chakra, the heart chakra. So connection, the heart chakra is responsible for forming your deep bonds with other beings, including both romantic and platonic relationships. Unconditional love. This chakra is motivated by unconditional love. It gives you the ability to show love not only to yourself but to other people. Compassion. The heart chakra is the center of your compassion for others, enabling you to be empathetic and understand what others are going through. These qualities give you personality, warmth, and security that others are drawn to. Respect. The heart chakra cultivates respect for yourself and others. This allows you to understand others' ideas. And forgiveness. As a healing center, the heart chakra enables you to let go of past experiences and forgive others. When you encounter feelings of hurt, you are able to feel them fully and then move on from them, opening up your heart to experiences and relationships. So health issues, if you're experiencing health issues or these kinds of health issues, this is a sign that you have an unbalanced, whether that is an overactive or an underactive heart chakra. Stress, breast cancer, heart disease, poor circulation, blood pressure extremes, respiratory ailments, lung infection, illnesses, problems with the diaphragm, bronchitis, heart-related issues, and suicide. Okay. Hi, Taco. How are you? I'm out running errands without my phone with paper. All right. Well, I am still doing this reading. I will be on as much as I can. So whenever you are ready, just let me know, Taco. Okay. Just gonna go ahead and finish this reading. I'm barely halfway. Barely. A little over halfway. Okay, signs of an overactive heart chakra. We have codependency, lack of discernment in relationships, emotionally drained. We overexert yourself in your personal life, allowing our relationships to become toxic. We become ruled by our emotions. We neglect emotional self-care. We have a lost sense of identity, a lost sense of personal boundaries. We say yes to everything, even when it hurts you, and giving in to others without restraint, right? So, signs of an underactive, blocked, or closed heart chakra, a feeling of disconnect. We could be overly critical of ourselves. We could lack empathy. We might not be able to trust others. There might be a lot of fear and a deep insecurity. We might feel very manipulative, or we might have manipulative tendencies. There might be a lot of anger, grief, hatred, jealousy, and codependency as well. We might be feeling closed down or withdrawn, or difficulties in relating with others. We could also be defensive, jealous, or we might be fearing intimacy. Relying on others' approval also as well when it comes to an underactive heart chakra. And we might be seeking a lot of attention. Trying to please at all costs as well. Trying to please others. Always putting oneself in the role of the savior or the rescuer. Or on the contrary, falling into victimization. Okay. Excessive isolation. We can also be recluse or antisocial with an underactive heart chakra. And we could be holding grudges also as well and not be able to forgive others. So how to balance it? We could be wearing comfortable clothing. Feel free to volunteer as well. We can cultivate your appreciation for beauty. Practice self-care, cultivate self-compassion and acceptance. Reflect on old wounds and come to terms with them compassionately. Practice forgiveness and express gratitude. You could wear more green as well. That's going to be the case for all these chakras as well. They're going to tell you wear the color of the chakra, right? Wear some more green. Decorate your workspace with the color green. You can do some Taoism here, some tantrism. That helps a lot with the heart chakra, and doing some pranayama breathing here. Okay, so you can also have plants in your home, and you can practice some yoga poses and some mudras. I think we have a mudra here. We will see in a little bit. So you can practice camel pose, cobra, fish, wild thing, or you can also do the head to knee forward bend or the forward fold, right? Which is basically a standing up forward fold, right? We're standing up and we're just bent from the, we bend the hips, and our head is basically where our knees are, basically, right? Gemstones that you can use to help with the heart chakra: pink quartz, which that would be rose quartz, clear quartz, jade, and green calcite. I'm going to change pink quartz. Rose. Okay, so every time I read this thing, there's always something I'm editing. Peridot. That's another stone. I do love peridot. Peridot is so beautiful. And lavender kunzite. Okay, aromatherapy that you can use for the heart chakras: rose, melissa, geranium, neroli, ylang ylang. Don't know if I said that right. Jasmine, bergamot, lime, spearmint, and capita. Signs of a healthy heart chakra. How would things look like if you had a healthy heart chakra? It would be: we are full of love, forgiveness, and compassion. When we have a healthy heart chakra, you will notice that you are more easygoing, you're peaceful, and that just emanates outwardly that you're at peace and that you're easygoing. You know, we are altruistic and we respect others. We feel an abundance of empathy and love in our lives. We allow ourselves to be who we are instead of molding ourselves to others' expectations. We may feel deeply connected as well, right, to others and to the universe, and the harmonious exchange of energy with all that is around you, and the deepest appreciation of beauty. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and go with the root chakra. With the throat chakra. Okay, we have 3 more positions here. Goodness gracious. All right, so for the throat chakra, you do have the 6 of Wands in reverse. Now, let's talk about it when it's upright, right? So when the 6 of Wands is on the upright, it usually talks to us about how sorry about that. It usually talks to us about success, usually financial or career success. We achieved a goal. That's usually what it is. Sometimes this can come out in a love relationship, especially if it's a goal. It's something that you have been working on, made it a goal, and you achieved the goal, right? But this is about the throat, and we'll see what the throat is about. And 6 of Wands in reverse usually talks about how there is still achievement in a situation. We still might achieve or get or have things go in our favor in a situation, but there's a lot of blockages. There's a lot of things that will be in your way, or challenges more than when it's upright. When it's upright, it seems like things could be smoother. There will be, a fair amount of challenges that are just realistic, right? But when it's in reverse, it's like, oh my goodness, so many problems, so many obstacles, so many blockages, so many loopholes, right? But when it's in reverse, it still guarantees success or having things still go in our favor. Okay? And this is in relating to the root, to the throat chakra. So let's see what that has to do. The throat chakra usually has to do with communication, but there might be more. So we'll see. We'll see, right? So, there you go. So the Sanskrit name is Vishuddha, right? Which means pure and pure and purification. It is associated to the pharyngeal and the bronchial plexus, and it is connected to the mouth, jaws, tongue, the pharynx. I hope I'm saying all that correctly. The palate, the thyroid, and the shoulders and the neck, right? It is a communication center of the body. The throat chakra is connected to the way you express your life with utmost authenticity, communicating your thoughts, feelings, and intentions clearly and accurately. This is the center for all of that. This is where we expand our voice and the power of will. It is about understanding the power of faith and having faith in ourselves and a higher existence. We see energy change into matter as a result of the throat chakra actions such as thinking, speaking, visualizing, right? So behavioral characteristics are expression, in particular with the ability to express your truth, to speak out, communication, whether it's verbal or nonverbal, external or internal, connection with the ethereal realm, the more subtle realms of the spirit and intuitive abilities, propensity to create, projecting ideas and blueprints into reality, realizing your vocation or purpose, and good sense of timing. Right? And the key characteristics, truth. The throat chakra gives you the courage to speak your truth. It is also motivated by constantly seeking truth and sharing it with others. Integrity. This chakra is a source of personal integrity. It allows you to be honest with yourself and to always stand up for what you believe in. Originality. The fifth chakra is associated with authenticity. It allows you to be inspired and creative, to share your ideas, and to always be authentic to yourself. And communication. The throat chakra is the center of communication. It allows you to effectively communicate your ideas and thoughts, but also have the tools to listen deeply to others around you. Expression. This chakra is your source of creativity and expression. It empowers you to be fully yourself and share it with the world, right? Health issues associated with the imbalanced throat chakra. We have the thyroid imbalances, hearing problems, tonsillitis, mouth ulcers, tinnitus, I hope I'm saying that correctly, bronchitis, asthma, maybe even some ear infections could be happening in your life. Signs of an overactive throat chakra. Well, it can bring about a dogmatic persona. We can become arrogant. We can gossip more. We excessively talk and or complain. We become self-righteous. We have an inability to listen to others. We can be verbally aggressive or mean. And we can become quite condescending, okay? So what about, oh my goodness, I'm always doing All right, so when it's blocked or closed, there it is. We are more likely to experience frustration when it comes to expressing our feelings, not being able to find the correct words. We don't voice our truth when we're scared of losing someone or something. We could be scared of being ridiculed. There's a fear of offending someone close to us. It can contribute to feelings of insecurity, timidity, and introversion. Now, how do you balance the throat chakra? You can do some yoga poses. Bo is going to help you with a lot of these poses: sitting forward, bend, lion pose, bridge, child's pose, and plow. Right? You can also try some singing. Inhaling, doing a lot of inhaling, visualizing blue energy, most especially during meditation, and doing some journaling, right? You want to get some crystals, some gemstones to collect in your house. Maybe get some pendant, maybe get a pendant or something, or a nice bracelet. You can get something with blue topaz, lapis lazuli, turquoise, chiaroscuro, or aquamarine. Aquamarine is beautiful, but it's very expensive. Um, Aromatherapy, I would recommend rosemary. Right, rosemary, Roman chamomile, cypress, peppermint, blue tansai, chamomile, and lavender. Did I say chamomile twice? Roman chamomile. That's what it was. Okay. So, signs of a healthy or a balanced throat chakra, we have an awareness of our personal power. We know that no one outside of ourselves has power over us and the choices we make. We know that although we do have the power to make our own choices, we are also guided by an existential force that opens the doors and gateways. We voice positive things, we confess and openly admit our mistakes, we forgive. We can easily express our love without vocalizing it. When we create boundaries and say no whenever something does not resonate with us, we begin to face our truth and see beyond illusion. We no longer lie to ourselves, and we can finally express ourselves well and in many ways. We can also be very articulate and easily describe things in detail. We can listen to our inner voice when the throat chakra is balanced, right? So, and again, going back to that Six of Wands in reverse, maybe achieving something here that we achieve has to do with that power of will and communicating what we want and being ourselves, because that is what's going to help us achieve our goals. And it might be hard, especially when it comes to our challenges being about being ourselves. We're going to be, you could be dealing with people who are jealous, people who don't like you because you are yourself, right? There are going to be challenges with that, right? So, as far as the third eye, our intuitive chakra, we have right here, Ajna. You have for yourself Seven of Swords. We're almost done. Second to last. Okay, we have third eye chakra, and then we have Four of Cups reversed. Okay, for the crown. All right, so let's go ahead and see the Seven of Swords. So Ajna, which usually means command or perceiving, it is the center where we transcend duality, the duality of a personal I, separate from the rest of the world, of a personality that exists. I'm always messing this up. Independently from everything else. It is about witnessing your freedom beyond the realms of realistic illusion between the eyes. It belongs right there between the eyes where the eyebrows would meet. It is associated with pineal gland. And it is in charge of regulating biorhythms, including sleep and also when you wake up. It is a gland located in the brain that is a center of attention because of its relationship with the perception and effect of light and altered or mystical states of consciousness. The third eye chakra is associated with following psychological and behavioral characteristics. So you have right here the third. So these are the behavioral characteristics: vision, intuition, perception of subtle dimensions and movements of energy, psychic abilities related to clairvoyance, clairaudience, most especially access to mystical states, illumination, connection to wisdom and insight, motivates inspiration and creativity, right? The third eye chakra is associated with the archetypal dimensions as well as the realm of spirits. It is responsible for the link between your mind and the outer world. It is where the flow of energy interacts with your consciousness. It allows us to cut through illusion and to access deeper truths, to see beyond the mind and beyond the words. It correlates to our mental abilities, psychological skills, and how we evaluate beliefs and attitudes. It is about also breaking down stereotypes and seeing beyond the illusions of the meta, right? And achieving detachment from the societal realities. And it is also responsible for the link between your mind and the outer world, embodying your ability to see both the inner and outer worlds. So your key characteristics here are wisdom, right? Because it is the center of wisdom and knowledge. It allows you to open your mind to deeper understandings. Intuition, because this chakra is instrumental to perceiving the subtle qualities of reality. It allows you to open up to intuitive sensibilities and inner perception. Self-reflection, because the third eye is responsible for your ability to self-examine and self-reflect. Vision, because the third eye is the link between your mind and the physical world. It enables you to internalize the outer world and reflect within. Logic and creativity, the third eye chakra gives you the ability to integrate your creativity and logical thinking. You might be experiencing some health issues that are associated with the third eye, which are headaches, dizziness, blindness, brain lesions, depression, addictive behavior, sleep disorders, or nightmares, right? If you might be having an overactive chakra, fantasies appear more real than reality. We might be more judgmental, dismissive, and inward focused. When there is an indulgence in psychic fantasies and illusions, we might be feeling overly analytical. There might be a lot of anxiety, mental fog. We might be feeling mentally overwhelmed. There might be excessive daydreaming, a lack of clarity in thoughts. We feel overwhelmed and mentally exhausted. And there could be a sense of indecisiveness, a lot of indecisiveness, right? So what about an underactive, a blocked or a closed third eye chakra? So if we have a blocked or a closed third eye chakra, we might be having problems in perceiving the interconnectedness of the world and your place in it. The walls between your inner world and the real world start to seem very high. You may find it difficult to apply your intuition, trust your inner voice, recall important facts, or learn new skills. There might be a lack of concentration, we might be fearful of the unknown. There might be a lack of intuition. Again, this is the center of all of that. We might have this inability to self-reflect. unable to see past illusions. Just, and we might feel a disconnect from the universe as well. And this can negatively affect your ability to concentrate, process information, or to keep cool under pressure. Okay, we might be having a hard time with that. Okay, so tips on how to balance the third eye. Well, you would need to decipher what you believe to be true and what is genuinely true. That's first one thing that you need to realize. Yoga poses that you can use to help you balance the third eye chakra here: plow, hero, downward facing dog, lotus, and child's pose. And you can also do a shoulder stand, or some people call it the supported shoulder stand. Getting outside on sunny days, you can do that as well, or in the evenings of full moons. Journaling your ideas and your beliefs. You can also read books on different perspectives, especially in contrary to your own beliefs. So, gemstones or crystals you can buy that you can purchase that can help you with the third eye. We have amethyst, popular, very popular, okay? Opal, labradorite, and lapis lazuli. Aromatherapy for the third eye chakra, we have frankincense, pine, clary sage, ylang ylang, lavender, frankincense, serrata, basil, and almond blossom. Signs of a healthy, balanced third eye chakra. It allows you to open up to an intuitive sensibility and inner perception. We are able to discriminate between thoughts motivated by strength, fear, and illusion. It puts us in touch with the ineffable and the intangible more closely. A healthy third eye chakra promotes intuition, pattern recognition, learning skills, and memory. We develop an impersonal mind and detaching oneself from physical and mental illusions. When we realize that not one person or social group can determine your life's path, when we no longer fear death, when the conscious mind is able to evolve and detach from affliction and release the spirit from the body without having to endure pain, and this choice is available to everyone. We retain mental clarity and are able to see beyond the mind and all its desires, longings, worries, fears, and judgment. We can enter the realms of knowledge, wisdom, and intuition. It allows you to experience clear thought and self-reflection. We are also very mindful and live in the present moment. Okay, so the crown chakra. For the crown chakra position, you did get oh, sorry, we didn't even talk about the card for the third eye. So the third eye card that you got was the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords, right? I just told you the definition of it. We didn't even talk about the Seven of Swords. Okay, so Seven of Swords talks about deception, actually. Deception. We could be lying to ourselves. We could be lying to other people. And sometimes this could be, sneaky behavior. So there's some sense of deception, or maybe our intuition is telling us that someone here is being deceptive. Maybe that's going on, and maybe that's affecting your chakras. All right. So as far as your crown chakra, before we read that, you have the Four of Cups in reverse. Now, the Four of Cups in reverse usually talks to me about, well, when it's upright, it talks to us about how in our current state, in the present, we are not satisfied with what we have. We are not satisfied with what the world has presented to us, with what the universe has in front of us for. But the fourth cup, the reason why it's floating up in the air, it's representing the future. It's talking about how the universe has more for you. It's just not here for you yet. Yes, we are bored. Yes, we are dissatisfied because we don't have either what we want or what we have in front of us is just not satisfactory, right? But the fourth cup is up in the air, representing the fact that there will be more, right? It's just in your future. It's not here right now, right? And maybe that's something that we're thinking about, right? Or maybe this is just something that the universe wants you to know, because the crown chakra has a lot to do with your personal relationship with the universe. So let's go ahead and see about that. So the Sanskrit name is Sarasrara. Don't know how to say that. I said it all weird. 1,000 petals, right? The color is white. Top of the head, that is the location of the crown chakra. It is associated with the pituitary gland, the pineal gland, and the hypothalamus, the brain, and the nervous system. It allows access to the utmost clarity and enlightened wisdom. It gives us access to higher states of consciousness as we open to what is beyond our personal preoccupations and visions. The function of the crown chakra is driven by consciousness and gets us in touch with the universe. It connects us to the divine, and it is said to be the place where the individual consciousness meets a higher state or universal consciousness, and it will help us experience spiritual growth and be connected to the universe. It is responsible to the it is responsible for the transcendence of your limitations. The more people who can connect with the power of the chakra, the more it will shift our collective consciousness on a massive scale towards a more holistic understanding of health, disease, the environment, biodiversity, and humanity as a whole. Let me go ahead and read that again. I the more people who can connect with the power of the chakra, the more it will shift I keep messing that up. Goodness. The more people who can connect with the power of this chakra, the more it will shift our collective consciousness on a massive scale towards a more holistic understanding of health, disease, the environment, biodiversity, and humanity as a whole. Well, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you think about it, between the 2010s and onward, a lot of people started researching and, chakras and started getting popular all over again. You know, it is where the paradox becomes the norm. The psychological and behavioral characteristics associated with the crown chakra. It is consciousness, awareness of higher consciousness, wisdom, and what is sacred, connection with the formless, limitless, realization, liberation from limiting patterns, communion with higher states of consciousness, ecstasy, bliss, presence. Key characteristics. So, yeah, see the beauty. The crown chakra allows you to see the beauty and divinity in all things. Unity. The crown chakra represents your connection to the universe. You are able to experience unity with everyone and everything around you. Awareness. This chakra brings your consciousness to a higher level, allowing your awareness to be transcendent. Enlightenment. The crown chakra is the gateway between the physical and the cosmic self. This gives you the ability to have the utmost clarity and enlightened wisdom. Serenity and bliss. This crown chakra, the crown chakra up here, brings feelings of serenity, joy, deep peace about life. Okay, so health issues, mental issues that we might be dealing with or that are associated with an imbalanced crown chakra, schizophrenia, light sensitivity, autoimmune disorders, headaches, and various neurological disorders. Okay. Signs of an overactive crown chakra: lack of empathy, apathy, a sense of elitism, superiority, and also feeling disconnected from your body and earthly matters. Signs of an underactive, a blocked or a closed crown chakra: lack of inspiration, being disconnected to spirit, constant cynicism regarding what is sacred. All the other chakras and your mind and body will suffer. greed, materialism, and also mental fog. Those are signs of an underactive, blocked, or closed crown chakra. Now, how to balance it? How to balance the crown chakra? Practice living a minimalist life. If you are emotional because of past experiences and they are holding you back, try writing them down on a piece of paper and burning the paper to help you let it go. Do some hiking. Now, yoga poses that can help you with this is lotus, reclining bound angle, supported headstand, tree, shoulder stand, headstand, and crane pose. Gemstones or crystals that you can purchase to help you balance the crown chakra. If you want to go ahead and buy it on a bracelet, on a pendant, blue sapphire, celestite, and clear quartz. As far as aromatherapy for the crown, we have rosewood, sacred frankincense, sandalwood, lemon, ylang ylang, lotus, and the water lily, right? And then the signs that you will see once the crown chakra is fully balanced, we become one with the universe. We will experience mystical oneness with everyone and everything in nature. We will be immersed in serenity, joy, and peace. We feel a state of blissful unity with everything around us. We are able to move beyond materialistic needs. We can connect with the universe as a whole. We feel a state of blissful union with all that is of spiritual ecstasy. Point is that there is more to come. And I think what is more to come is that you're going to work on your chakras. I feel like what this is talking about is you working on your chakras. Because the story behind this, the Four of Cups, is that this person in Lotus, this is what Lotus kind of looks like. This person is in deep meditation, right? And probably has been in deep meditation for quite some time and still hasn't seen the results or the life that this person has wanted. Maybe you had a 5-year plan and you're not there, right? And this is talking about how the universe is trying to tell you is that there are things coming for you. They're just not here for you yet. And since this is a chakra that has to do with your oneness and your connection, your personal connection with the universe, I feel like this is more like a personal message to you from the universe saying more is coming for you. Okay. So, Elle, do you have any other questions for me? That took a lot longer than we expected, but do you have any other questions for me today? And what are you having for dinner, Taco? I think that would only be possible if I did that on Instagram or TikTok. I need to like figure out how to connect my TikTok onto this thing because I still haven't been able to figure that out. But I think I'll figure that out by this weekend for sure. As far as Instagram, well, that's easy, but I'm not sure if you have Instagram. As far as PayPal, I think you should be able to because PayPal is an international thing. The super chats don't come to me. They go straight to YouTube corporate. They say they're for donations, but that's all bullshit. Were you able to connect PayPal? I can do a live stream later, yeah. We can do it later. Sure, whenever you can. Alrighty, Taco. I'll see you later. Alrighty, guys. I will see you later. Taco, how about this? Email me. Email me and we can figure out a time where you're available and I can come and do a live stream, maybe on the weekend or next week during the week or something, sometime later. And we can answer your questions, your 4 questions that you have. Okay? Alrighty, guys. Later. Go.